Thanks for joining Veiled Mystic today as we examine the psychic ability known as thoughtography. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this presentation. What is thougography? Inside the controversial psychic photography technique. Thoughtography refers to the alleged psychic ability to imprint images from the mind directly onto photographic film through sheer intention, without using a camera. Also called projected thermography, nengraphy, and psychic photography, thoughtography captures the imagination but also elicits skepticism. Still, famous thougtographers demonstrate uncanny proof of concepts once deemed impossible. And quantum mechanics now give thoughtography more scientific credibility concerning consciousness interfacing with physical reality. History of thoughtographic experiments. The first documented thoughtography experiments took place in the 1910s under researcher Tomokichi Fukurai. His studies with Japanese psychic clairvoyants explored mental energy's effects on photographic plates. These early trials sparked global interest in verifying thoughtography and catalyzed more formal investigations. Participants in subsequent studies focused intense meditation on photographic film while attempting to imprint target images using only psychic projection based on visualization. Remarkably, developed prints repeatedly showed unexplained forms and figures resembling what the psychic tried materializing mentally. Prominent examples like emotionographer Ted Serios through the 1960s and Masuaki Kyoto from the 1970s demonstrated thoughtography on demand under controlled conditions. Each man produced inexplicable images related to their visualizations on camera film shielded to prevent room light exposure or conventional printing techniques. Skeptics remained unconvinced by paranormal explanations, instead insisting clever trickery enabled false positive results. Debates on both sides brought thoughtography global attention without conclusively proving its mechanism or reality. Quantum models support mind-matter interactions. While thoughtography seemed fringe science for most of the 20th century, modern quantum physics now lend the phenomenon more credibility from a mainstream perspective. Leading consciousness models propose mechanics for psychically imprinting images onto film through intention and focus. Quantum mind theories describe consciousness interacting with reality by collapsing electromagnetic waves into perceivable particles, like photons comprising photographic images. Thougtographers may control this wave function collapse with their minds. By consciously intend specific outcomes while observing a quantum process like photographic development, continual updates to the system's wave function steer it towards imprinting thoughtographic patterns recorded non-locally via the observer effect. In other words, focusing mentally on imaginary scenarios that include impressions on unexposed film makes those imagined events more probable to manifest physically through awareness-driven quantum transformation. Of course, further research still needed to test thoughtography under quantum frameworks. But physics no longer rejects the possibility of mind interfacing directly with physical matter through subtle interactions. Thoughtography pioneers blaze the paranormal trail. Thoughtography gained legitimacy from reputable psychics able to manifest images repeatedly on demand, often under strict laboratory controls designed to prevent fraud. These gifted pioneers blazed the evidentiary trail necessary to further establish thoughtography as a genuine psychic phenomenon. Emoto Masuaki Kyoto startling images. Japanese clairvoyant Masuaki Kyoto amazed researchers in the 1970s with his prolific thoughtography productions created strictly through meditation-like concentration. Kyoto imprinted over 1,000 images psychically onto film in controlled environments to silence accusations over the years. His mental impressions spanned everything from samurai warriors to deities, landscapes, circuit diagrams, and even shadowgraphs of deceased souls at grieving relatives' requests. Subjecting Kyoto to various conditions always produced unexplainable thoughtography. Images emerged on infrared film, submerged unexposed film, electrically charged plates, and plates placed near but not inside cameras after Kyoto visualized contents. Through sheer discipline in entering deep mental states focused singly on transferring thoughts optically, Kyoto demonstrated seemingly impossible feats far exceeding trickery suspicions. His psychic gifts convincingly evidenced thoughtography. Uri Geller's thriving celebrity thoughtography. No discussion of thoughtography history omits celebrity psychic Uri Geller, one of the world's most famous thoughttographers. The charismatic performer popularized thoughtography for mainstream audiences through hugely popular televised demonstrations. Unlike the stringent laboratory controls meant to establish thoughtography in clinical settings, Geller took photos using viewers' cameras in auditoriums and talk show venues, adding to the mystique when images inevitably appeared showing his mental projections. Drawing boldly from pop culture, Geller imprinted everything from E.T. figures, Disney characters, cryptids, quantum formulas, religious prophets, and more onto arbitrarily provided film stock simply by holding each cartridge to his forehead during intense sessions of intentional focus. Critics still accuse Geller's act of relying on stage magic sleights of hand. But his worldwide thoughtography exhibitions undoubtedly forced recognition of psychic photography's paradigm, disrupting potential reaching millions. Neuroscience models for thoughtographic imaging. Beyond physics, frontrunners in consciousness studies propose neural mechanisms supporting thoughtography as an extension of imagination and visualization driven by the brain's immense sensory processing power. Mapping thoughtography possibilities reveal new insights on the ubiquitous yet elusive phenomenon of mental imagery. If human cognition can accurately generate worlds unseen internally, perhaps manifestations like thoughtography are achievable externally. Perception and hallucination share neural territory. Conventional understanding limited imagination to abstract information lacking tangible quality of actual perceptions. But deeper investigation shows mental imagery taps into the exact neural sensory pathways lighting up when one observes real phenomena. In other words, visualizing a scene and actually witnessing the event produce identical neuroelectric patterns. Both experiences qualify as legitimate renderings of reality from the brain's perspective. Internally generated movies and externally observed motion pictures share production equipment and resources. So thoughtography may allow broadcasting imagined content layered onto the physical lens of a camera, since neurologically speaking, fantasy and fact utilize the same rendering pipelines devoted to building lifelike visuals based on mental data. Holographic resonance and psychic projection. Expanding on sensory neural crossover, research shows the brain's perceptual experience holographically mimics qualities displayed by quantum wave functions. This quality allows consciousness to traverse scale dimensions. Like a shaman switching between ordinary and spirit realms, shifting one's awareness between macro and micro states permits directly surfing the undercurrents binding all creation through harmonic sympathetic resonance. In this perspective, thoughtography uses holistic coherence between inner and outer worlds to transpose ephemeral imagination into transient physical substrate. By frequency matching with the universe's quantum song, thoughts transmute into fleeting material echoes. Projecting insight through imagination and then photographically capturing its ghostly reverberations simply applies principles of cosmic connectivity through consciousness acting as an intermediary between multidimensional layers of woven reality fabric. Of course, bringing such lofty cosmic models down to testable hypotheses remains challenging. But aligning psychic concepts with leading consciousness frameworks keeps thoughtography dynamically evolving alongside neuroscience. Spiritual dimensions behind thoughtographic power. Paranormal phenomena activity often links with transcendental aspects of existence, hinting at profound hidden realities veiled beyond mundane perception. Exploring thoughtography's spiritual features reveals deeper universal wisdom. Windows to non-local consciousness. Thoughtography suggests spatial limits do not constrain consciousness nearly as much as physical laws imply. Imprinting images simultaneously across multiple physically isolated photographic plates hints at a non-local multidimensional awareness. Perhaps thoughtograpers tap into universal consciousness pervading all space and time. Through deep trance states unified with this infinite mind outside conventional spacetime, thoughtograpers can transcend here and now restrictions regarding mental broadcasts. Some compare thoughtography with astral projection, the practice of detaching mind embodiment from the physical form to navigate reality unbounded by the body's limiting reference frame. Roaming existence freely as pure thought translates intent directly into external matter manifestations unmitigated by physical processes. Of course, accurately testing for extended non-local consciousness requires new empirical models not yet incorporated into mainstream frameworks. But the phenomenon stresses mystical interconnectivity between sentience, physical manifestation, and suppressed higher aspects of being. Portal to the collective unconscious. Thoughtography also aligns with psychological concepts tied to a latent universal psyche. Termed the collective unconscious, This model describes all human minds linking subconsciously through a common ancestral awareness. Some speculate thoughtography derives from tapping into and channeling this collective unconsciousness shared across humanity. By resonantly aligning with the morphogenetic consciousness field and its accumulated psychic content, thoughtograpers indirectly impress latent imagination onto tangible film. The collective unconscious functions as a massive reservoir of formative ideation connecting humanity sub rosa across history. Through deep hypnagogic unity with this psychic ocean, thoughtograpers visualize content already energetically outlined yet needing consciousness collapsing infinite probability towards finite actualization, essentially developing pictures from mental liquid. Of course, much theorizing around the speculative collective unconscious relies more on faith than falsifiable examination. But models incorporating shared psychic fields explain thoughtography phenomena powerfully. Imprinting the Akashic Records. In esoteric cosmology, the metaphysical Akashic Records supposedly contain existence's experiential memory encoded at cosmic scale. By attuning with this eternal record of reality impressions across cycles of time, thoughtograpers arguably access the ultimate photo album. Projecting deliberately while immersed in Akashic synchronicity allows resonating with the specific symbolic imagery destined to emerge through quantum manifestation. Thoughtography therefore resembles reality calibrations, fine-tuning the eternal film negative until highlighted details develop. Some magical practitioners learn accessing the Akashic gallery through intense visualization. Thoughtography may apply similar training to pictorial planes. Mastering these meditative talents anchors physical prints displaying non-local awareness. However, evidential methods for studying vague esoteric concepts like the Akashic Records remain speculative. Testing thoughtography in the modern age. Despite thoughtography's lengthy history of compelling displays indicating unexplained psychic abilities, the phenomenon still lacks conclusive understanding or scientific consensus on how meditators imprint images onto film. This mysterious and controversial power begs further formal analysis. Developing updated research methodology. Much criticism around thoughtography focuses on weaknesses in previous experimental designs and potential loopholes regarding fraud. By modernizing testing protocols to maximally control for confounding factors, today's researchers can respond to these complaints. Tightly regulating environmental variables eliminates almost all conventional explanations for manifested images. Refining benchmarks also quantifies thoughtography performance more objectively beyond binary results assessment. Statistics paint a detailed picture regarding accuracy rates and characteristics. Testing various meditative states provides neuroimaging data on thoughtographic correlations with specific brain signatures. Screening participant psychic aptitudes beforehand ensures elevated impression probability. Customized trials based on each thoughtographer's strengths support best outcomes. While never completely beyond question for die-hard skeptics, upgraded methodology fortifies thoughtography's credibility against debunking efforts. Quantifying feats also progresses goals for scientifically demystifying thoughtographic feats rather than merely labeling them inexplicable and paranormal. Monitoring for signature brainwave signatures. By charting thoughtographer brain activity using electroencephalogram machines during attempted imprinting sessions, researchers gain insights into the neural requirements behind successful thoughtography. Mapping characteristic rhythm changes, hemispheric shifting dominance, and activation differences across sensory regions reveals thought processes conducive to psychic photography projection versus those less likely to manifest impressions. Just like athletic training identifies optimal muscle conditions through analytics, determining ideal neural terrain boosts reliability. Understanding specific meditative phases generating more responsive thoughtographic states allows subjects to sustain heightened performance through biofeedback monitoring. Instead of stumbling blindly towards unclear mental requirements, brainwave guidance sharpens abilities conditioning consciousness for optimal interface with externalized mind power. Testing thoughtography through optical filters. Another promising angle for thoughtography research involves assessing supposed psychic projections through various optical filters placed before unexposed film. This filter's idea originated from claims of theosophist Annie Besant, who believed thoughtography images carried distinct polarization features. By separating thoughtographic prints from standard photographs based on adjusted processing conditions, The paranormal hypothesis gains support if certain filters reliably inhibit or amplify psychic impressions independent of physical light effects. Researchers suggest mixing calcite crystal filters and polarized glass plates to analyze Besant's hypothesis. Confirming her prediction opens more thoughtography avenues based on suspected psychic imagery obeying slightly amended optical laws from regular visuals. Understanding these subtle differences demystifies thoughtography mechanics through revealing hidden qualities of consciousness manifestation tied to alternative dimensional origins. Physics itself must expand alongside updated evidence. Future possibilities, tech upgrades and practical applications. Assuming affirmation of genuine thoughtography abilities from upgraded trials, researchers anticipate numerous lucrative applications harnessing psychic imprinting constructively across industries. With powerful visualization amplification headsets combined with augmented and virtual reality systems for optimizing resolution, Thoughtography develops incredibly vivid projections manifesting as intricate photographic prints or possibility even dynamic living imagery. Constructing dedicated thoughtography chambers housing banks of conditioned film ready for exposure during meditation sessions empowers adept psychics to produce vast idea galleries rivaling whole museum archives through mind power alone. Practical uses span advertising firms tapping into thoughtography for product concept art, police sketch artists collaborating with psychic imprinters on suspect facial composites, toy companies materializing characters under development, architectural visualization firms creating immersive client renderings directly from imagination, and medical imaging technicians trying safer alternatives to radioactive contrast dyes. Upgrades allowing group thoughtography sessions through shared resonance fields boost applications requiring collaborative real-time visualization. The future shines brightly for this evocative psychic phenomena. Conclusion: photographic evidence of the mind's hidden gifts. Despite thoughtography's frequently contested past and remaining questions around inconsistent performance, the overall concept offers enticing glimpse at latent human abilities still outpacing restrictive mainstream paradigms unable accommodate the mind's immeasurable potentials. Manifesting imaginary inner-world landscapes upon external sheets of light-sensitive film through sheer discipline wanting alone suggests parts experience merely the tip of creation's possibility iceberg. Perhaps matter itself responds directly to consciousness far beyond physical causality. By photographically evidencing consciousness bypassing the need for functioning eyeballs and conventional visual processing hardware when projecting mental impressions outwards, thoughtography prophetically expose outdated presumptions circumscribing cognition. Updating anatomical dogmas now limiting reasonable models for parsing anomalous feats liberates future discovery of further awe-inspiring talents awaiting acknowledgement. Each thoughtographic impression etched onto defiant film medium echoes louder as humanity's long overdue wake-up call heeding the mind's wild untamed promise.